Runs really, really good or has a car that's just so dominant. It's human nature to question the legitimacy of the equipment. It just is. And whether that's right or wrong, I've done it. Everybody's guilty. So we go down to Daytona, a lot of emotion, going to that race for the first time since Dad was lost. So we go there and we win the race. It's this crazy storybook weekend, and the whole sport is like, yeah. One freaking guy gets out of the car at the end of the race, Spencer, and says, I think that car is illegal. It's just fishy. Smells. Doesn't seem right. Can't be legal. When we won at Talladega with the same car soon after, I was still disappointed or upset that he did that. Anytime we won after that, we were just kind of like showing people that this wasn't a one-off fluke. This is how good this team is every time we go to Daytona and Talladega, and we ended up winning a ton more races after that.
Here comes Michael to the bottom, and he's going to run out of time. Earnhardt Jr. wins at Talladega. His second straight Talladega win.
I'm only the second man in this track's history to score 3 straight wins at Talladega Superspeedway.
They all kind of just blur together, all those 4 wins in a row. I remember the 4th win because it was the one that helped us break the record.
4 straight wins at Talladega. Dale Jr. breaks Buddy Baker's all-time record for consecutive wins at the same track.
Talladega was a very important track to my dad, winning so many times there. Very important to me to be able to emulate his success there and win a lot. And so to have any type of record at that track that I believe will stand for a while, certainly may be broken one day, but it means a lot to me personally to have those little oddball, random, rare records. The engine that won, I think, 3 of those 4 in a row, I have that motor. I would run this motor and personally request or make sure, do I have this motor? You win with it 2 or 3 times, you're like, hey, just keep bringing that one back. Rebuild it, we'll take it and race it again. We're going to race this thing till it quits winning. Eventually, one race we went to where we ran second to Michael, that 5th Talladega race. We were trying to win 5 in a row. It had pushed out a freeze plug, so they were a little worried about it, and we never ran it again. Richie comes back and says, this motor meant a lot to Dale, so let's rebuild it. We're going to build it on this rack, this really nice, clean build. And he brought it and gave it to me. And it's sitting in the building right next to us right now.
What does it mean to win here, not only once, but to win here 5 times?
Well, it don't mean right now. Daddy's done won here 10 times, so I got to do a little more, winning, but we're going to get there. And he was the master. I'm just following his tracks.
And he's following it very well, Bill.
And certainly our apologies for his enthusiastic language in victory lane.
I'm tired of spinning my wheels. I need to find a place where my heart can go to heal. I need to get there pretty quick. Hey, mister, what you got out on that lot? You can sell me in a pinch. Maybe one of them souped up muscle cars, the kind that makes you think you're stronger than you are. Color don't matter, no, I don't need leather seats. All that really concerns me is speed. How fast will it go? Can it get me over her quickly? 0 to 60. Can it outrun her memory? Yeah, what I really need is an open road and a whole lot of speed. this old truck, 'cause it makes me think of her, and that just slows me up. See, it's the first place we made love, where we used to sit and talk on the tailgate all night long. But now she's gone, and I need to move on. So give me speed. How fast will it go? Can it get me over her quickly? 0 to 60. Can it outrun her memory? Yeah, what I really need is an open road and a whole lot of speed. Throw me them keys so I can put some miles between us. Tear off that rear view mirror, there's nothing left to see. Yeah. Let me lean on that gas, all she catches up fast. So give me speed. How fast will it go? Can it get me over her quickly? 0 to 60. Can it outrun her memory? Yeah, what I really need is an open road and a whole lot of speed. That's what I need. I'm tired of spinning my wheels. I'm tired of spinning my wheels.
Welcome to another Pony Express broadcast by Mark Dale Jr. Let us start this show by bowing our heads for a quick prayer. Thank you, Lord, for another day of doing what we love. For this gathering of sim racers, and for the chance to pretend to be real race car drivers. We ask that you watch over these sim racers and their families as they gather together to enjoy the hobby of sim racing. May their spouses and children enjoy dinner, bath times, Netflix, and bedtime stories without them. May their calibration stay true, their racing rigs hold together, and their connections stay strong. May they treat each other with respect, avoid bogus black flags, and nail some green flag pit stops. May they return every night to see their friends and teammates, to click drive one more time, and to partake in the camaraderie that comes with being a part of the sim racing community. Father, we also ask that you guide and protect our veterans and their families as they make sacrifices so that we are able to spend a few hours in front of our computers trying to be like the king or the intimidator. And lastly, may we all have fun, win or lose, in your name. Amen. Now please rise and remove your hats as we join a fellow sim racer for his version of the Star Spangled Banner on guitar.
Hello ladies and gentlemen, Pony Express Broadcast Network coming to you live from Bomb Squad Racing. This is the DrunkenCowJerky.com Thursday Night Cup Series. We're live from Talladega, chase race number 5. Tonight, the Dale Earnhardt Jr. 200 in honor of Dale Jr.'s final Talladega race this weekend. Joining me in the booth, I've got Mean Gene, Corey Williams, and ECT Kyle. Guys, how are you doing?
I'm doing real good tonight, Mark. Thanks for having us up here. Just looking forward to a great race.
Corey, you're lighting up, but I can't hear you.
Oops, had my mic muted. I said I'm also doing great, and I'm glad to be here at Talladega, one of my favorite tracks.
So guys, let me cover a couple things. Obviously, we saw the opening video. Dale Jr. talking about some of his success at Talladega. Tonight, like I said, this is the Dale Earnhardt Jr. 200 in honor of Jr.'s final Talladega race coming up this weekend. BSR Scar and Larry Yeager have painted up all of these cars tonight. Everybody running Dale Jr. paint schemes, kind of a throwback nod to the old number 8 Budweiser scheme that Dale used to run. On a couple side notes, you're going to notice some pink still in the show tonight. It is still October. It is still Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so that is the reason for that. Also, the opening song we played tonight, Montgomery Gentry, Speed, that is our way of paying our respects to Troy Gentry from that duo who passed away in a helicopter crash a few weeks ago. So we've got a lot of Dale Jr. stuff planned tonight, as you see. About well, I believe we have 28 Dale Jr. cars in the house tonight, and look at them all roll off of pit road, heading out for happy hour. It's quite a sight, and go ahead, Kyle.
I tell you, Mark, it's really impressive as I'm listening to my other ear to the drivers' meeting. These guys all getting their pep talk. You see all these likewise paint schemes out here. Reminds you a lot, kind of like the old IROC days, seeing everybody in the same-looking vehicles. I tell you, I think we're going to see some great racing tonight, and I'm looking forward to it.
We have a lot of special things planned tonight. We're going to have some more Dale Jr. videos throughout the broadcast tonight. Corey runs the 88. I know he's a Junior fan. In fact, Corey sacrificed his 88 car in this race tonight to be in the booth, and so Blake Warren out there in the 88. Corey, how do you think Blake's going to do in your car?
I've been chatting with him a little bit and trying to get it warmed up, ready to go, and he seems pretty odd about it, and I think he can get at least the top 10 out of that car.
You know, the guys were remarking as we were as they were in driver meeting about how they felt sorry for all of us up here looking at these cars and trying to call this race with them all looking the same. So we'll see how it all shakes out as the night goes on here. I tell you, there's some good names out there. And you know, Mark, are you ready to try and get some picks in here?
I am. Real quick, let me pull qualifying back up on the screen, and obviously no surprise to anybody who has been around here. DJ Champ with the pole. I have never seen him lose a super speedway pole. So DJ has it. Chevy. So Chevy is really the winner of qualifying. He'll be starting on the front row next to DJ. I believe we're gonna have 28 cars taking the green flag, and yeah, let's well. And before we get to our picks, one other thing I gotta bring up. like I said, this is a chase race. This is an actual series that follows the NASCAR season. And so coming into the night, BSR Texan in the 201, he is your points leader. 6 points ahead of BSR Terry Scott. So there are points on the line here. This is a points race. They're just paying tribute to Dale Jr. at the same time. And now we'll do what we always do before a race. We'll make our picks. And I will let, since Corey gave up his 88 ride tonight, I will let Corey make first pick at who he thinks is going to win the race tonight.
There's a lot of good guys to pick from. I could pick Rick Johnson, DJ Champ, but I'm going to pick my own car. I'm going to pick the 88. I'm going to go with Blake.
Alright, so Blake Warren is going to be Corey's pick in that number 88. Me, I don't know if he's going to win. I think he's a pretty good driver, but I can tell you this much. He's got the best looking car out there because he's driving the number 8. I'm going to go with BSR Quack for the win.
I tell you, there's an outstanding collection of drivers here, and trying to throw this dart at the board to see who's going to get what. I think the one that I'm going to pin my hopes on tonight is the 49 of Brain Fade. Not only is he the funniest guy in this field, he's a hell of a driver, so we'll see how the 49 does.
And Brain Fade is in that points chase. He's 4th in points, just 28 markers behind Texan. And I was talking to Texan during the day today. I told him, we were talking about his title hunt, and I told him, I was like, with this being a big TV race and a Dale Jr. tribute, 28 cars, I was like, you do not want to have a DNF tonight. Now, a minute and a half to go in happy hour. There's one more news segment to these BSR shows. I don't know if Kyle has heard about them yet. Me and Corey.
No. Fill us in.
Me and Corey obviously know about them. We've started a new thing where we predict where we think the 38 car is going to finish BSR Pockets.
Oh, really?
So since this is Kyle's first pick at where he thinks Pockets is going to finish, I'm gonna let you go first.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. I'm thinking he's probably going to be, being the guy he is, he's a tough racer, but he's also a smart racer. I'm going to say if he doesn't get caught up in something, he's going to finish up probably 7th position.
All right, I will go second. Man, I know how bad he wants it. I'm going to say Pockets on the podium in 3rd.
I'm gonna say second. I'm gonna say he's gonna finish behind 88.
All right, so Pockets 2nd, 3rd, or 7th. We'll see what happens tonight. Meanwhile, Rick Johnson, that 193, he is out there, fastest car in happy hour. Now, let me tell you a little something about Rick Johnson. Rick Johnson normally runs the 93. He runs the 93 everywhere. Now, for those of you who don't know, BSR had a driver, AK, who passed away a couple months ago, and he drove the 93. So out of respect for AK, Rick Johnson is running the 193 tonight. And there will be more on AK following this season. There is a 4-race AK championship in the works, so there will be more news coming from Pockets on that after this season finishes up. So here we go. The final seconds of happy hour are ticking down. One last shout out to drunkencowjerky.com for sponsoring BSR as well as this series. And that reminds me of one other announcement before we get going. The winner of tonight's race will be taking home all 5 flavors of Drunken Cow Jerky. Corey, what is your favorite flavor of Drunken Cow Jerky?
Well, now that I got some, I bought some the other couple days ago and got it in Thursday. I'm a big fan of Ghost. I like that one a lot.
Alright, right, I'm my favorite is beer bacon. Kyle, I don't know if you've had any, have you?
Yes, I second your choice there. Beer bacon is the way to go.
To your cars.
All right, here we go. Drivers being called to their cars on pit road. Quick shout out to Bruce Fallon for painting up that Pony Express pace car that you see out there. Also a shout out to Milt Minter Jr. and Chad Goodstein for the invocation and national anthem that you heard tonight. And we've got news in the chat lobby. Randy Claflin agrees with me. Pockets finishes third.
Hey, Randy. Good to have you here watching tonight, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks to all of our viewers for tuning in. If you're just tuning in, this is the Dale Jr. 200 live from Talladega. Bomb Squad Racing, a tribute to Dale Jr. in what will be his final Talladega weekend.
Drivers, start your engines!
Also, quick update if you're just tuning in. Keep in mind, BSR still does have that 5-lap mulligan. If there is a caution or a mechanical failure in the first 5 laps of this race, they will restart the race. It is a one-time only mulligan. Cars rolling off the pit road now.
I tell you, they were just remarking about how everybody who registered for this race has shown up, and you get a beautiful field here rolling off of pit road.
Yeah, man, that's a whole lot of thank you, Dale Jr. paint schemes out there.
And everybody's betting the red car will win tonight.
Man, I hope so. I hope the pace car doesn't win the race. I would love to see a green flag finish. What about you, Corey?
Yeah, I would love to see a green flag finish as well.
It is Talladega, though. Anything can happen. And, stats update, in case you guys didn't know this. Dale Jr., 6 wins at Talladega, 960 laps led. I'm hoping that this weekend he will lead at least 40 laps to break 1,000. And I'm hoping he'll get his 7th win to go along with the 10 wins that his dad had.
I'm in that same boat. I want to see that happen.
Speaking of which, Corey, has the Monster Cup guys, have they qualified yet?
I don't think so. I know they did practice today. Yeah, I think it's tomorrow. But the 88 was second fastest in practice this weekend.
Man, I saw that number 2 car that they gave him as a gift, and he got to run some laps, and that's cool.
Oh yeah, he couldn't take the smile off his face when he seen that car.
Yeah, that was awesome, and that was a really awesome gift from Talladega, and here we go. Pace cars off, DJ Champ, Chevy Chase. Gonna lead us to the green flag and off into turn number 1.
Green flag's out, Mark, and the whole field roaring to life here as DJ takes them across the line.
You see some cars with a better start than others. This is an open setup racing, so a lot of guys out there with different gear ratios, and so that's why you're going to see some disparities compared to some of the fixed setup racing that you are used to seeing. Car starting to get up to speed now. Chevy holding right there side by side with DJ Champ down the backstretch.
Both lanes equal into turn number 3.
It's like DJ's starting to get a bit of a run there on that low line. See how they're looking as they come out of the turn here. Going down, he's going to touch to the high side. And looks like he's going to bring it around to lead this lap.
Now, I want to let you guys know, you see that number 65 right behind Chevy on the high line. Nobody picked him to win, but he called it today. He told me on the phone earlier that he will win this race. So look for the 65 to try and Babe Ruth it, call his own shot there.
It's hard to say you're going to come out here and just win a super speedway. These are one of the hardest races to win.
know, that same driver, Larry Yeager Jr., he told me he was going to win Daytona back in July. He did not live up to that claim. Let's see if he can do it tonight.
You know, it's interesting because you never know which line's going to go. You're always going to stick it out there, see which line's going to push. A lot of times here, you know, you can make that high line go if you got a great running group of guys behind you, and that's what we're seeing right now as they dive down at a 1 and 2.
DJ Champ rolling on that top side. The top's got a lot of momentum on it, but you can see them trying to get that bottom lane to work. There's about 5 or 6 cars down there. They're not as grouped up as the top, though, into turn number 3.
Look at this. Chevy looking on the low side of the 91 of DJ. He's going to go down there with that low line. Got about a half a car length between him and the car behind him. And we'll see if that line can now make something happen.
And it looks like my count was a little off. It's actually 28 cars took the green flag today.
One more lap to go, and this will be an official race, which means we will not have that restart. Everybody hanging in there and doing a good job. Getting down, that 8 car getting down towards, or 6 car getting towards that apron.
Here we go, Chevy Chase, your new leader. This is lap number 4. If they can make it another lap and a half, we'll be good to go. I apologize, some very minor technical difficulties going on. They will be resolved here momentarily.
Uh-oh. As we're getting close to that start-finish line. Get ready to make this thing official.
It's next time by on that official call.
Yeah, they got a complete lap 5.
That's the second time I've done that.
It's okay. It's a 5th lap somewhere. Looks like it's going to happen.
And there's a wreck. Caution is out, so we're going to go.
Caution is out, so it will be a restart.
We are going to restart. I'm going to use this break while they go line back up to fix something real quick. Bear with me.
I'll grab a beer during that time. Corey, it's all you.
Oh, nice. Pace car lines them all back up. This time it's a 1-lapper. And we're official here at the Bomb Squad Racing since we used the mulligan. And we saw that both lanes work, though. Hope everybody in the chat's excited. So we're getting ready to go back to green flag racing here in the Dale Jr. 2 Hundo.
All right, here we go. Technical issue. Yeah. See, I can't even talk. Technical difficulties have been resolved. We're good to go. And we didn't miss anything because cars are just now going to roll off pit road for the start of this race.
And somebody was making a wisecrack about the Dodgers leading the field again, the only time they'll lead tonight. So, you know, not a very Dodge-friendly field out there.
That's true, because even if the pace car wins, he's in a Chevy.
Absolutely. They hadn't downloaded the new paint either.
So I was telling Pockets earlier today as I was putting together all the stuff for this broadcast last night. Obviously, if you saw the opening screen in the top left, you know, you had Dale Jr. in his Budweiser days, hat backwards. That's how I will mainly remember Dale Jr. is that guy with his hat on backwards, the driver of the number 8 Budweiser Chevy. You know, obviously he's had a good time at Hendrick, but I'll always remember him as the driver of that number 8 Budweiser car.
I'll remember him as the young man that came in and raced at Shady Bull Speedway in DeGraff, Ohio against some of the local stars around here. And although he was young, he still knew how to drive and put on one heck of a show.
What about you, Corey? What's your favorite memory of Dale Jr.?
Back when he was in the Budweiser car, like you said, he had a hat turned backwards. I used to have the hat turned backwards when I was a kid, and also had the frosted tips like he had. So back in the Budweiser days is probably where my memories come from of Dale Jr. You know, he has had some good times at Hendrick, at Daytona 500, Pocono Sweep, Martinsville.
Oh, SR5 giving DJ Champ a huge bump here on the parade lap. I hope these guys know that this race is official. There's no more mulligans. These guys do use moderate damage, but you don't want to slip up here before the race even starts. As the pace car pulls off officially, and the Dale Earnhardt Jr. 200 is now live and underway.
Down through the tri-oval, making their way down towards turn 1 to pick up that start-finish line. Looking at the flagman, how soon will we see the green? Field getting ready to roar to life. Here we go, folks. Green flag is out.
Oh, here we go. This time, Larry Yeager giving Chevy a good push, but DJ got a great start.
That's an official restart. We are officially into this race as we see the field. Beautiful looking field this time, coasting out there.
Once again, DJ moves up in front of that high line. We'll see if Chevy is able to work past him and get to the lead again. There's Texan, our points leader. Second car back on the inside line. The inside line getting hung out now. Everybody moving to the high line. Chevy pushing DJ.
But look at that Toyota going to the front.
I just don't think it's going to last with only 2 cars down there. Here comes Joba. They've got help on the way. Who's going to lead the first official lap of the Dale Earnhardt Jr. 200? And it looks like it was SR5 in the 002. Double file all the way through the field.
Everybody trying to side draft a little bit there coming at the end of the backstretch there. Mark, did you see that?
28 cars, 14 rows deep. We will, I believe we're going to see some 3-wide racing here at Talladega tonight.
See it a little bit back here in the back of the field coming out of turn 4 there.
Coming back to stripe, which line's going to prevail?
SR5 once again, getting some good pushing from Texan down there on the low side.
Tell you, the amount of communication going on the driver channel right now is pretty amazing, as they're all hollering for the give and take racing that we're getting now. Now, while we are this early in the race, we're going to hear them. We're going to see them working together. But as the race grinds on, it's going to be, every dog for themselves.
Now, I do want to let you guys know we do have a live in-race reporter, the 44 of Tyler. Will be doing that for us tonight. We're not going to bother him right now. Things are kind of intense. The race just started. Should we see some more relaxed racing later on, we'll hit Tyler up and see how the 44 car is doing.
Tell you what, SR5 doing a great job. He's got that low line hooked up. Behind him is the 201 of Killa. Then it's the 56 and what looks like the 41 of Spoiler.
Man, it's a sea of red.
Yeah, and I'll have to say these guys are right. It's not the easiest with everything painted the same to tell who's who in this field.
Yeah, luckily it's pretty easy to see the door numbers for me anyways.
You got to have the camera angle just at the right place. Joba in that 56. Look at him starting to jumble up, starting to get a little bit of 3 wide here as we come back around to the stripe.
Oh, here we go. 3 wide, 5th place back. You see the 66, Terry Scott, coming up on that low line. He's second in points. There's the 41 OSR Spoiler. That is old school racing. Spoiler, the founder of this new league here in our 2003.
Didn't I see Terry Scott had a birthday recently?
Was it today?
I think so. It was either today. It was sometime this week. I want to say you might be right. It might have been today.
It might have been yesterday. I know Bama's is today.
Yeah. Bama's is today. So we want to say happy birthday to both of them.
Yeah, this low line doing a great job. Everybody else 3 wide from third place back. Somebody who we haven't seen yet. Let me look at timing and scoring. Where is he? Pockets is taking this different approach tonight. He's riding back in 23rd.
I don't know if y'all just saw that, but
wreck out!
Around.
It's a 710 and Manny D
BSR
got Pockets.
Scar also involved in there.
Oh, I'm sorry, it was Scar, not Pockets.
Yeah, the 83 BSR Scar, the guy who painted a majority of these paint schemes. All right, so we have something different for you tonight. Caution rewind. We're gonna go back and show you the replay, but we're actually going to show you a 2-minute clip of Dale Jr. while I go back and get that replay. So enjoy this 2-minute clip of Jr. One of his win. In fact, this will be the first 2-minute clip. This is going to be Dale Jr.'s first ever win at Texas. Enjoy this clip while I go back and find the replay, and we'll be right back.
His grandfather, Ralph, former national champion, they called him Ironheart because he gave nothing on the racetrack. His father, 7-time Winston Cup champion, once dubbed Ironhead, and then the Intimidator. How about this kid?
He can coast on now, Mike.
Checkered flag, Dale Earnhardt Jr. is Texas Motor Speedway's second first-time Winston Cup winner. And waiting on him, along with Dale Earnhardt, is Ken Squire.
His dad is here first. What a moment. The 7-time Winston Cup champion pushing his son's car to a stop in victory lane here at Texas. Dale, you seem more emotional than I've seen you in all your victories. Hey, man. Come on. Come on. That's crazy. How about it, Dale? This is as big a moment for you as it is for him, I think.
I'll tell you, he's something else. He's talking about coming to Texas and winning his first Cup race. He won his first Busch race here. We knew the kid could do it. Tony Ure and all the guys worked really hard, and I got to thank Budweiser, Chevrolet, and everybody. This kid, he worked hard. And Tony Jr., Tony Sr., Richie Gilmore, and all them guys in that engine shop. They got a good race car, a good engine, and boy, drove a good race.
And it was only your 12th start in Winston Cup.
Yeah, I'm out of breath, man. I tell you what, that was the hardest race I ever drove.
You certainly drove a beautiful one today, and you were pulling away at the finish.
Yeah. We had it blue all day long, all week long, and felt pretty good. And once the race started, we had a good car, and I was pretty happy.
You certainly did a beautiful job. Dale Earnhardt Jr. wins his first Winston Cup victory. Let's go to Mike Joy.
Like father, like son. Dale Earnhardt Jr. conquers Texas.
Dale Earnhardt.
All right, we're back. Here we are taking a look at the replay. We see the 83 Scar 710 Manny Diaz. Oh, it looks like Aussie Bill got loose in the middle of them, trying to make it 3 wide. And we see Manny Diaz, BSR Scar, involved in this caution. First caution of the night on lap number 8.
And Mark, it sounds like during the pit stops here, it sounds like Nelly, with a connection issue, fell out. Well, he got spun around backwards, must have gone to desktop, but looks like he's off now at this time.
Yeah, I see that. Nelly disconnected. We'll see if he's able to get back in here and get any of his laps back. It did look like heavy rear damage on the 710 of Manny Diaz. We see Joba out here, stayed out, led a lap. So that's a bonus point for Joba. But yeah,
also looking at it right now, Rick Johnson's coming into pit road and he's got a flat tire.
Well, it's if you're gonna get a flat tire under caution, definitely a good time to do that. So hopefully that flat didn't tear up any of the sheet metal and Rick's able to get it back out there and keep it going. It looks like the 201 our points leader, BSR Texan out there. That's a bonus point for him. His first lap led tonight.
Competitors now trying to get all lined back up, see what's going to happen. Looks like we might go back, shut the lights off in the pace car this time by when we get to the start-finish line.
Yeah, 10-4, Mark. I got you.
Sorry, I'm pushing the wrong button here. My bad. Quick in-race live reporter BSR Tyler in the 44. Tyler said he has a copy. You guys heard that. Tyler, what kind of fuel window are you guys looking at here at Talladega?
Looks like you can do, depending on where you're at and how hard you're running, it looks like you can do somewhere between about 16 and 18 laps.
And Tyler, where are you at in the field, and what's your strategy tonight?
Right now we're P15. We pitted. We took 2 tires and 1 can of fuel, just enough to fill it back up. So right now we're sitting in the middle of the field. My plan right now is just going to try and get up towards the front, get out of the mayhem as quick as I can.
All right, and that first caution, did that happen behind you?
It happened right in front of me.
Did you make it through?
Oh yeah, we made it through just fine. Hit the brakes real hard, and luckily we didn't get run over.
All right, well, we see the lights are back out on the pace car. You guys are going to go back to green flag racing. We'll let you switch back over to your team comms, and we'll perhaps get a word from you again later on, and good luck with your race.
All right, thanks, gentlemen.
All right, so here we are. Lights are out on the pace car. That was a quick in-race report from BSR Tyler, driver the number 44. Looks like Texan has chosen the inside. Chris V going to be restarting on the outside. I'm trying to see. So SR5, he was the race leader when the caution came out. Looks like he is back in 5th place now.
Again, these race comms sometimes, Mark, I tell you, some of the things they throw around is pretty comical. It's always a good time to listen in. Be interesting to see what happens as we go back to green flag racing.
It's going to be lap number 11 when we take the green flag here. So, I mean, they were essentially halfway through a fuel run when that caution came out. You heard Tyler say he took 4 tires and a can of gasoline.
Yeah, you do what you can to get in. If you haven't got any tire wear, you try not to take them to get better track position, but you never want to miss an opportunity to put fuel in the car.
Here we go. Pace car going to head down pit road. Corey, what's the latest with Blake Warren?
Last time I talked to him, he said his foot was kind of cramping up on him, but he's pumped up right now.
I see he's running. He's in 15th there, right next to Tyler. So doing pretty good so far. Is Texan going to lead us to the green flag? And it does look like Nelly was able to get back into the race, I believe. Or perhaps not. It is showing him 3 laps down now. Here we go. Texan jumps up to that high side, and now look at this. Here comes the 002 SR5 going to jump to the low side. Try and work his way back up front. He's got the 54 of Momo pushing him, while OSR Spoiler pushing Texan on the high side.
Texan in that 201 out there with a commanding lead right now, but looks like he might have a small low line challenge.
You know,
Nope.
Usually when it comes to super speedway racing, at least in my experience, I know some people like to play it safe, hang back. They think they can cold trickle it through the wrecks. For me, I find it easier to just be out front and have the wrecks happen behind me. Now, obviously, there's always the chance that the second place guy wrecks you, but the chances are much lower of that happening than you successfully cold trickling it through the big one.
Absolutely, you know, the standard schools of thought is get out front like you, or hang way back and wait for that big one to happen and just guide your way through it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Corey, what's your thought on that?
I agree with Mark. It's better to be up in the front. You start in the back and have to work your way up. The worst place is definitely the middle, because that's usually where everyone gets wadded up in it. So I like to be out front every time I got into Super Speedway.
And look at that run by the 91, our pole sitter DJ Champ. Shoots out to lead the low line, but he is still not able to get out in front of Texan.
A low lane starting to form, though.
Alright, so here we go. Things reasonably calm right now. I know we're going to be playing a lot of video clips for you tonight, but we do got to roll one commercial and honor our sponsors here. So here's going to be a Drunken Cow Jerky commercial. We hope you enjoy this. Please head over to drunkencowjerky.com. Place your order, get some beer bacon and some Ghost, and we'll be right back.
I'm Matthew JC. JC All-Stars here. This is Drunken Cow Jerky. This is the best jerky in all the land. Trust me.
It's all a lie. You feel this fight. That's just more fuel for you. Don't lose your mind. It's worth your strife. Take hold. It's all for you.
And we're back. That was drunkencowjerky.com. Here we go. Texan still your race leader, leading that high side. DJ Champ still not able to get above third or fourth place, really, on that low line.
Absolutely, and Manny D, unfortunately, has had to retire, probably due to the damage from that earlier incident.
Yeah, Manny Diaz, he is retired. Nelly, it doesn't look like he's coming back. And look at this, you got Rick Johnson and BSR Pockets at the tail of the field, perhaps planning on working together tonight.
Yeah, there was a bit of a layback on that restart, and Pockets kind of held up to pick him up. So Johnson now up behind him, and they're working up here. See what they can make happen as they get back to the back of the field.
Oh, and look at this, just as I say it, Nelly looks to be coming back in. I do believe he's going to get 7 or 8 of his laps back once he gets back in the car. I don't think they put him on the lead lap. I think they put him 1 lap down for disconnect issues here at BSR.
I believe that to be correct. You get everything but 1 lap back.
So here we go. Look at this. Single file in the front 6, but from there it's 3 wide.
There's a lot of shaking and moving back there in that backpack, though. A lot of accordion left to right. So hold on, folks, because we may see another one coming.
In fact, that's the number 8 of BSR Quack, my pick to win. Let's climb in the cockpit of the number 8 car and take a lap around Talladega. We see the 002 working the inside of the 8. Meanwhile, look at this. DJ Champ is falling all the way back to 7th place after trying to lead the low line to the lead to get out front. Now he's got Quack pushing him. Now it looks like DJ perhaps thinking about starting a higher line, and now he will go low.
You know, Mark, I got to give a shout out for my brother and ECT driver, poor boy Roger Bevins out there running 4th in that 24 car. He's hanging in tough there, so we'll see what happens as the 91 trying to move that lower line up behind him.
And look at this, Nelly now 11 laps down, not sure, 12 laps down, not sure if he has been able to get back in the car yet or not.
I saw him coming down pit road, so he is back on the track.
Back out front, Texans, still your race leader. Now Momo trying to lead that low line. Only 4 cars in the high line right now. This is a chance for the low line to pounce as you see the 10 of Chris V jump down there as well. That's the one thing about being the points leader is the target is on your back. Everybody is trying to finish ahead of you. So if you're leading the race, they are not going to be as willing to help you.
You go back and look about 3 laps. This race was all single file. 3 laps later, we're double file except for the leader.
And now look at this. Texan ditches the high line, moves down to the low line. He can see the.
Oh, Momo looking low, going to push it 3 wide in the apron.
Oh, a little sideways.
Momo.
Aprons are for cooking, Momo. Put her back up there.
Texan doing a good job of anticipating which line is moving and which line is not. I suspect he may move back to the high side. Chris V pulls right up on his bumper though, and look at this. Spoiler's going to get by on the high side.
Oh, what's our spoiler making a move there? Going to try and get a lead line or a lap lead. We'll see if Killa can come back as they go up down into turn 3.
We're about, we're probably just past 11 laps. Yeah, we're a little over halfway through a fuel run here.
Leaders are coming up on a lap car of Nelly here.
So Nelly is back on the track. He, oh no!
Oh, blowing up. Who's that's DJ?
DJ Champ, man, I was just talking. So he's up on the high side. Driver's trying to get around him. Had a lot of dark smoke. We'll see if he's able to get that thing off the track before we get a caution for debris. It's throwing a lot of oil right now.
Yep.
So far, still green.
Tough break for DJ Champ, pole setter.
These guys also going by Nelly right now, 3 wide, putting him a lap down. And it looks like Nelly will make it back to pit road. Caution will not fly. So what I was saying, so I was talking to Texan earlier, and you guys heard me say when we first came on the air how I've never seen DJ not win a super speedway pole. With that being said, me and Texan were talking about this earlier, I've only seen DJ win 1 race. I've seen him blow up a handful of times, so you have to assume DJ running quite a bit of tape on his open setup.
I believe he was running 75, and they were commenting it doesn't matter what make it is, you ran too much. Another one looks like.
We saw Steve Furco going a lap down there, and now the caution is out. We're going to head over to the caution rewind screen again. I believe this is going to be Dale Jr. winning 4 in a row at Texas. We'll be back in just about 2 minutes with the replay for this caution.
Our junior scores a victory at Talladega.
Hell yeah, man. We just want to keep on doing good, man. Eddie's done won here 10 times, so I got to do a little more, do more winning, but we're going to get there. And he was the master. I'm just following his tracks.
The white flag is up. Final lap at Talladega. Who's it going to be? Labonte, Earnhardt Jr., Stewart, or maybe somebody out of the back? Look at this move by Jr. at the white flag. Labonte blocks Bobby Hamilton. Contact. Bobby Labonte's over. It's the big wreck on the final lap. Burton and Stewart are side by side. That's all Earnhardt Jr. needs to see. Dale Earnhardt Jr. has won the $1 million bonus here at Talladega. What a wild finish. Dale Earnhardt Jr. being saluted by the 160,000 here at Talladega.
They got it. First and second. Here comes Michael to the bottom, and he's going to run out of time. Earnhardt Jr. wins at Talladega. For Dale Earnhardt Jr., his 2nd straight Talladega win. Jonas in the infield. They're just going crazy. They love it. His dad was the intimidator. Today, Junior was the dominator.
His father won here 10 times. And now Dale Earnhardt Jr. is going to become only the 2nd man in this track's history to score 3 straight wins at Talladega Superspeedway. Earnhardt Jr. to the checkered flag. He wins the EA Sports 500.
The last driver to complete the season sweep at Talladega, Dale Earnhardt Sr. did that in 1999. Here in 2002, Dale Earnhardt Jr. does the same thing.
Here comes Junior. He's got to run. Kenseth tried to close him off. It's going to be borderline, guys. It's going to be borderline. This is for the win. Can he do it, guys? It'd be 4 in a row. Dale Earnhardt Jr. 4 straight wins at Talladega. Junior ties Bill Elliott's record for consecutive wins at the same track.
It's cool, 4 in a row. Old Buddy Baker. I bet he's loving this. Man, I'm wore out, boy. I took everything I had.
All right, here we go. Let's take a look at this replay. It looks like it's going to involve the 49 of Brain Fade and the 8 of Quack. Quack getting loose, bouncing off the apron. Brain Fade perhaps checking up. Blake Warren and Nelly and Brain Fade all involved. Nelly taking the brunt of it.
Looks like Nelly's going to be out as well with a puncture out of that incident. Don't think he was involved. Might just pick something up as he was going through.
Corey, I don't know if you've been on the team radio with the driver, the 88 Blake Warren yet. Have you?
Yeah, I was just telling him, you know, just he needed to check up a little bit more for that one, but he's a little upset, but you know, I think he can get back up there. I don't think he got bad damage on the 88 Chevrolet.
This is, I want to point out, this is Blake Warren's Bomb Squad Racing debut. So, you know, nobody comes out and wins their first race. I mean, even Dale Jr., it took him 12 races to get his first win. But Blake doing a good job out there wheeling that 88. And if you didn't know it, Blake Warren is driving with a broken ankle. So he's really you know, kudos to Blake Warren out there. It looks like the 193 Rick Johnson going to stay out, lead lap, grab a bonus point. Well, Rick Johnson's not in the points, but he's going to grab a point here.
Yep, Rick Johnson, he's one of the better super speedway racers. He's up here now. He was riding around in the back a little bit earlier.
Looks like he has brought Pockets to the front with him. I assume these guys may still pit. I know Pockets would desperately like to grab a bonus point. He came into the night 5th in points.
Yeah, they were having a small issue on that last restart and fell back, losing the draft. The 193 did. Pockets fell back, picked him up. And at this point, I think you're right. I think they are probably going to take service here because there's no way they can not go in and get fuel.
Yeah, we were we're probably 3/4 of the way through a fuel run there. So everybody will definitely be pitting for fuel here. Quickly closing in on lap number 38, which will be the halfway point of this race. I want to point out for those of you watching, for those of you who may have never watched a Pony Express broadcast before, something that we do here around the midpoint of every broadcast, we always like to do a special Veterans Tribute. Now the reason I bring this up is tonight it's not going to be a Veterans Tribute per se. It's going to be a salute to America, and when we roll that clip, you'll see why.
And if it's your first time viewing, thanks for viewing tonight.
Absolutely. If it is your first time in the house, popcorn and hot dogs are on Corey Williams. In fact, I think Corey just stepped away to go grab.
I was going to say, I think he's got some, don't he?
I think he's down at the concession stand grabbing some more hot dogs.
Corey, grab us some. As they come up through, looks like it's going to be ECT, Poor Boy, and OSR Spoiler staying out. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to work for him or not.
I think they may have pitted the first lap by. I really don't know. But either way, Spoiler is going to be your race leader when we restart this race. It looks like he's choosing the high side. Going to be Poor Boy on the low side. It'll be lap number 29 when we take the green flag here.
You know, guys are already starting to clutch during caution, trying to save what fuel they can. Because sometimes here at Talladega, it's just about fuel mileage. So they're trying to do what they can already to keep things up and running.
Meanwhile, I'm over here trying to get me a Yankees update. Game 1 of the ALCS going on tonight. And I won't tell you the score, but they are in the top of the 6th inning.
Yes, if you've chosen to join us instead of watching the ALS, by all means, we're not going to tell you the score, but Mark will update you as to where they are.
Well, let me tell you this: number 2 Clemson college football playing unranked Syracuse right now. 9 minutes to go in the 4th quarter. Clemson down by 3. We're looking at a huge upset in college football tonight. But let's get back to the Dale Earnhardt Jr. live from Talladega as the pace car pulls off, and we're going to go back to green flag racing. Lap number 29 here.
We've got, just under 50 laps to go here, Mark. It's going to be interesting to see how we go. Hopefully we'll see some green flag pit stops this time.
Spoiler, good start on the high side. He's got Momo behind him. Chris V is behind Poor Boy on the low side. Now Poor Boy getting a run. Like we said, this is open setup racing. A lot of these guys running different setups, different gear ratios, all kinds of different things, including DJ Champ. He is famous for running 75% tape, which works when he's out there leading. But we saw what happened when he was in the middle of the pack, and it just overheated, and that was it for the 91 car.
He was able to go in and get a little bit of service. They turned some wrenches on that car. He brought it back out, but was at the 160 range, so he decided to not tape it up even more and park it.
Also, Steve Furco Jr. was the lucky dog on that caution, so we do still have 25 cars on the lead lap. As Spoiler and Poor Boy still running side by side for the lead.
I tell you, the 49 of Brain Fade took a hard poke into the wall back there on that caution, but it looks like he's still hanging in there. He's only about 1 1/4 seconds off the lead in this field. That's not that far.
Now Spoiler and Momo are really starting to get that high line moving. We see the 088 of Greg Lovell up on the top side. As well, oh, look at that. Chevy Chase and BSR Texan. They are hooked up on that high side. Those two are always hooked up.
Chevy's in the racers room talking about the picks and asking us not to pick him. So we'll see what he has to do as we keep moving forward.
Well, so far, I believe all 3 of our picks have had minor trouble.
Yeah, well, they're talking about the curse in there. They know it lives and it's well, so it's October. The curse is on, so,
Meanwhile, Pocket's still running back there in 23rd conservatively, as well as Hot Rod, who claimed today that he would win this race.
Pockets just declared that he was back there trying to save fuel, so we'll see how that shakes out for him as the race tears on.
So I heard a funny story about Pockets the other day. I don't know if it's true. I'm not going to, well, my source was Tyler, screw Tyler.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
I'm going to throw him under the bus. My source was Tyler. So Tyler told me the other day that apparently Pockets never looks at his fuel, his F2 screen, nothing. Tyler told me that Pockets just runs it until the light comes on, and then he knows it's time to pit.
Yeah, I don't think that's out of the question.
But we'll perhaps ask Pockets about that later in the show if there's any
I think
validity
he's
to
looking
that.
for a safe space, a safe word. I'm not sure what he's doing back there.
But yeah, Tyler claims that Pockets pays 0 attention to how much fuel is in his car. And after the story Pockets told me about the Talladega truck race last night, where he thought he needed a splash and ended up taking a full tank or something. I didn't catch the whole story, but the bits and pieces I heard of his fuel story from the truck race last night, it makes me think that maybe Tyler was telling the truth.
Well, apparently the stream is caught up, and Pockets heard me talking about it because he said, "Well, there's really no advantage because we can't save that much, so we're just back here hanging out."
That's funny. Pockets doesn't usually. In fact, I know he never watches the stream while racing, but apparently he is listening to the stream tonight. Here we are. Look at this single file through the top 8 cars. Single file. Spoiler out here leading. Corey, did you make it back from the concession stand with our hot dogs yet?
He must be in the beer line too.
I tell you what, that line can get long.
Absolutely, but it's like the line at the nudist colony. The most famous guy is the guy that can carry 13 hot dogs and 2 cups of coffee.
Speaking of lines in concession stands, I understand you and Tyler, you guys used to work at a racetrack together.
Absolutely, we worked at the Pride of Greene County, Ohio, Killcare Raceway. I remember the day that young man walked through the door, and me and the 2-time market champion Lee Raymond looked at each other, shook our heads. Of course, we were all much younger then, but Tyler turned out to be a very valued asset with our racing organization down there, and Actually, ran over a telephone pole. He says he wasn't driving, but it was his truck, so I always blame it on him. We'll have to ask him if we get him back up here in the booth.
I've seen pictures. I believe Tyler was about 12 when he started working at the racetrack.
He looked about like that. He also looked like a serial rapist, too, but that's beyond the point.
I'm sure Pockets is relaying this to... I'm sure people who are listening to the stream while driving are relaying this to Tyler.
I was going to say, Rhoda's in there smacking him going, you ain't going to believe what Kyle said.
She probably went to bed. We'll see. Spoiler, still your race leader. Still a lot of single file action going. There is a low line, but they're about 10 cars back. 10 or 12 cars back.
Right now, the 54 Momo pushing real good there in second place. OSR Spoiler trying to do what he can to put that 41 car out there and keep it out there as much as possible.
Man, look at that train of red Junior-inspired paint scheme cars head down the backstretch. It's crazy.
I am back from the concession stand.
Where's my beer, man?
Yeah, did you get mustard on my hot dog?
Yes, I did.
Did you get her number? That's. I was gonna say, did you get her number? That's the important one.
Are they selling drunken cow jerky down there yet?
Yeah.
Do they have all 5 flavors?
Yeah, I think they do. More than likely they do.
That's good. I know Drunken Cow Jerky, headquartered down in the Dallas area of Texas, but it's good to see that they've made their way up to Talladega in Alabama. Here we go. We're coming up on we're just about to the halfway point of this race. We're starting lap number 38 right here, which is officially the halfway point of the race. I had planned to do our mid-race salute about 3 laps ago. So now we're going to put it on hold because there's something else we're supposed to do here in about 6 laps. So I don't want to miss that. So we're going to hold off on the salute. We'll do that briefly. Once we get a few more laps in the books here, I'll tell you what we are going to do.
Tenfold.
Still Greg Lovell looking there in 3rd position, doing a great job in that 088. He's got the 096 of Chevy back there behind him. Those top few cars there on that high line doing a great job towing this field around.
Looks like brain fade. That damage from the wreck has caused him to lose the pack. He's back in 25th. Almost half a lap back. Still everybody's single file up here. Alright, so Tyler doesn't know about this. Our in-race reporter, Tyler. And he I don't know if he's listening to the stream or not. My guess is he is. But anyways, Pockets requested that on lap 44, I say lap 44 because that is the number that Tyler runs. On lap 44, we're going to do a silent lap for Tyler, who lost a close family member just a few days ago, and that's all the details I'm going to give you because it's not my place. But lap 44, we're going to do a silent lap.
Momo complaining that he's not out there watching the football game, but he's in here racing. So.
Oh yeah, Momo, a huge Clemson fan.
Yep.
Well, he should probably be glad he's not watching it because let me check the score real quick. Oh yeah, 3 minutes to go. Syracuse has the ball and are still winning by 3. Momo should probably be glad he's not watching Clemson throw their season away in Syracuse, New York. Now that's probably a little exaggerated. Obviously, Clemson could lose a game and still make the playoff, but losing to an unranked 3-3 team, that is not a good sign.
No, they're Looking kind of low here. We may be seeing some early pitting here. I'm not sure what's going on.
I'm trying to think of when we went back to green flag racing. We probably are coming up on about 18 laps of green flag racing, which is the fuel window here. And I'll go ahead and tell you, the Yankees are losing. In the 7th inning, the Astros winning. I don't know if we have any Yankees fans out here. Alright, so here we go. Let me see if I can find the number 44 car as we close in on lap 44. There he is, Tyler right now running in 11th, just outside of the top 10. I happen to know, as a racing teammate of Tyler's, me and Tyler combined have run about 6 races at Talladega this week, so he's definitely got the practice. Alright, so here we go, coming to the line. This will be lap number 44. This will be a silent lap for BSR Tyler. Alright, there we go. That was our silent lap for Tyler, and you saw the wreck come out behind him. Caution is out. We're going to head over to the caution rewind screen again. I don't remember which 2-minute Dale Jr. clip this is, but enjoy it while we find the replay, and we'll be right back.
Wins this year count more than ever. You win it, you might be in the chase. It might be the win you need, and it's a chance to get one right here.
Kelly Earnhardt Miller, Dale Jr.'s sister, looking on, and here we go. Green flag, 2 laps.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. gets to that restart box, and he is gone.
Yeah, that car is, I mean, it takes off. Now, he definitely doesn't want to get too far out. We know that's not good, and he is making a pretty good gap here.
Here comes the 2. Brad Keselowski on the outside. Got a little bit of help from behind. Gaining on the leader. Junior comes up to cover. Jeff Gordon now leading the inside row. Unless Keselowski or Busch or Denny Hamlin in the 11 drops down, it's Hamlin.
What a move by Hamlin.
Woohoo! Now, if we get back to the white flag, we have a race. Look at Stenhouse in that 17 in the middle, back and forth.
Boy, he just shoved Kyle Busch right out of the way. Ricky Stenhouse in the 17 to 3rd place.
White flag with Stenhouse up in position to challenge in that blue Ford.
You know what, Larry? I believe that tape's going to stay on there, and that baby's going to come home a winner.
Denny Hamlin has not lost a race this week. He's number 11. Keselowski, the 2012 champ, battling back to the top. And Dale Earnhardt Jr., the Pied Piper of Daytona, trying to hold them all at bay.
And Kyle Busch was trying to make a 3rd line at the top of the racetrack.
Boy, here they come. Now, this is where it gets interesting. We've seen a lot of passes off turn 4 to the start-finish line, but that 88 is pulling away.
Less than a mile to go.
Oh, he got a wreck.
Third generation star Dale Earnhardt Jr. brings him to the flag. Checkered flag waving. It's over. It's Earnhardt.
Good job, Junebug. Woo!
All right, so there it was. Dale Jr. winning the Daytona 500 in the 88 car. Taking a look at the replay. It looks like the 088 Greg Lovell going to get down on the apron there. Things get a little squirrely, and from there people start ducking and weaving. And it looks like Poor Boy in the 24 as well as 66, Terry Scott, second in points. Those two drivers are going to take the worst of it. Meanwhile, it looks like Magoo stays out here, leads the lap, grabs the bonus point. Magoo comes into the night, tied for 7th in point. Let's, you know what? Let's see if we can do some fact checking here. Let's do a Mythbusters. Pockets is in the booth.
What up, fellas?
So Pockets, I hear you may be listening to the stream while racing.
I'm not.
I could have swore you had commented on something that we were discussing.
No, I told them, I said, if you're watching the stream and not watching the race that you're in, that could be a recipe for disaster. I strongly suggest you watch out your windshield and not over on your other monitor. It's just one of those tips, hints, and tricks that I like to share with people.
Oh, okay. We were discussing how you were at the back saving fuel, and then the next thing I know, you were talking about how you weren't able to save much fuel, and that's why we thought you might have been listening.
Yeah, I was just, I was riding back there at the back, just kind of waiting for the halfway point here, or getting ready, maybe hopefully have a green flag pit stop. And if we save an extra lap of fuel, I'm working with a couple of fellas here, 193.65. And our philosophy is here, if we can pit together and maybe miss the rush and not pit with 20 cars and pit with 4 or 5 of us and get that extra lap in by saving a little bit of fuel, it may pay some dividends for us, be a little bit safer pit entrance, but we've yet to have a green flag pit stop yet. And the strategy being at the back, and like you've seen right there, you have to miss everything because it's in front of you, but we're just kind of playing it safe. But it's about time to ratchet it up, pull these belts tight, get up there, start working our way to the front, and start mixing it up here because it's about go time.
Now, Pockets, we wanted to get you in here for a real quick Mythbusters. Tyler was telling me the other day a story about you, and we want to find out if it's true.
Oh, Lord, Tyler. Ain't no telling what he told. All right, what's the story?
So Tyler was telling me that you pay zero attention to how much fuel is in your car, and that you just wait for the light to come on, the warning light to come on, and then you pit for fuel.
Well, I look at how much I've got, stuff like that. I'm not real big on math. I kind of depend on Larry Yeager. He is like a savant when it comes to math. And hey, if everybody else is pitting and that needle's still on 6, you can bet your ass I'm going that extra lap. I'm going to get every bit of the fuel out of this thing so I can put as much in it, because I just hate to lose one that way. You know what I mean? I want to make sure that I get every extra advantage that I can, and fuel and going an extra lap sometimes, especially when it gets late in a race, you're out there, you go that extra lap, caution comes out, 3 to go. Guess what? You walking home with the trophy, and I'm going to get up on that Pony Express podium I've been trying to, baby.
Now, one more real quick question. Obviously, this was your brainchild. So, what's your favorite Dale Jr. memory?
2004, Talladega, when he got in a wreck there in the early stages of the race, and they pitted 18, 19 times. They put that barrel bond on the front of it, and he lit it up and got out front and led. That one of the things that was so exciting about that race is the crowd went nuts the whole race. They were on their feet for 3.5 hours watching Dale Jr. kick some ass with a car that was tore up, and he pulled that win off, and that was my very first Talladega race. And so being my very first Talladega race, being a Dale Jr. fan, watching him win after, our hearts sunk when he got in that first big incident and his front of his car was tore up, that win just capped off an awesome day for the first time experience at Talladega. I will never forget it. And I want to say something else here too. I come up with this, but you were instrumental in helping me. You jumped right on board with my idea, just like you always do. And I want to give a big shout out to you for helping me pull this off. And our friend Tim Scarborough worked his ass off getting all these cars together. What an outstanding job for Tim and everybody that come out to support this event. Man, what a field, what a great event. I appreciate you guys.
Lights are out. Going back to green flag racing. Good luck.
All right.
Tell Momo, go Clemson.
Go Clemson. Here we go.
Since Pockets isn't listening to the stream, he probably doesn't know they're losing.
No, he doesn't. and Momo, just during the interview there, was going off about the loss. So it'll be interesting to see how that transpires when he makes that statement.
Yes, final score 27-24, Clemson upset loss. As the green flag comes out here on lap number 49, Chevy, your leader on the inside, Texan on the outside.
Spoiler giving a nice push, so is the 54 of Momo on that low line.
I'd like to point out Texan up here in second place. This could be I don't want to jinx it. Let me just point out that second place in points, Terry Scott, is being shown one lap down in 25th.
A lot of folks checking up there. I don't know if somebody missed a shift, but that low line, it's like they had an anchor on them.
Yeah, I was about to say that. I was watching a little bit further back in the field, and I seen the whole check come back through the field, and we about had a crash on that restart. But luckily we didn't, and we're still single file for not anymore single file. Somebody pulled out a line and trying to make that bottom work.
That's Joba, and I'll tell you what, he almost made it. He came out of there like a shot, and now he's starting to fade away with no help. Look at that.
All right, there is something we do need to do here. Obviously, we're well past the halfway point. I apologize for that. We got caught up doing other things. So we're going to do it now. Instead of a salute to the veterans tonight, we're going to do a salute to America. And the reason for that is we're going to show you the clip of Dale Jr. winning at Dover the first NASCAR race after the 9/11 attacks. And so this is our salute to America. We hope you enjoyed this clip. Thank you to all the veterans and first responders out there. And we will be right back.
The message has been sent to New York City, to Somerset County, Pennsylvania, and to Arlington, Virginia. We mourn your loss. We salute your heroes. We will race, but we will never forget.
Let him loose, Cal. Let's go racing at Dover. While we've been honoring the memory of Dale Earnhardt with a silent lap 3 through the season, we thought today we should take that time and remember all of America's lost heroes. And now we're getting set for a 8-lap scramble to the finish.
Can your driver hold them off for 8 laps?
Well, we'll hold them off during that run, so hopefully we can. Anything can happen on the restart.
Hey, what, Junior's car is pretty doggone fast.
3 to go, 3. Now here at Dover, he's led almost half the race. Dale Earnhardt Jr. He's going to lead 193 of 400 laps. The American and checkered flags out at Dover. Earnhardt Jr. wins. Senior, heck the job.
Junior's going to carry the flag around the track.
It was good when it counted, and that was those last few laps. We were able to get by those guys. And, it feels good to be back in the race car, and I'm glad I could be the guy to win the race so I could carry the American flag around there, and that made me feel good.
All right, we are back. That was our salute to America. Dale Jr. winning the first race at Dover post 9/11. We are under caution here on lap number 53. I don't know what happened, guys.
It was a debris caution, I do believe. We saw Scar and Poor Boy both go in, both of them reporting a wheel issue. So I think this is a debris caution.
All right, well that's what we're gonna go with. We're gonna pretend it's a debris caution, even if it isn't. I believe Terry Scott's gonna be your lucky dog here and get back on the lead lap, which is good because he needs to get back up there and not lose too many points to Texan. 20 what? Man, it's gonna be about 22 to go when we go green, which does not put these guys in their fuel window, so everybody's still gonna be short.
Yeah, they can't save enough laps there. Corey, what's your play here with this many laps to go?
Right now I'm communicating with my driver here, and I don't know. I'm trying to tell him what to do, and he doesn't know what to do.
I mean, are you doing 2 tires and full fuel to try to get as much track position as you can?
On the pit stop, I'd go 4, because it depends on what they took last time. If they took 2 last time, I'd take 2. But if you've been on them tires a little bit, I'd take 4. Usually under caution, I always take 4 tires.
Let's see if we can get a word with our. Let me see if I can get in contact with our live in-race reporter here and see what he's doing with about 22 laps to go. All right, in-race reporter BSR Tyler, you got a copy.
10-4, gentlemen.
So Tyler, we were just up here discussing. It's going to be about 22 to go when you guys take the green flag, which is. You can't go that far on a tank of fuel. So what is your strategy right now?
Well, I don't really have one anymore at this point unless we get another caution. I tried to pit, and we tried to just top it off. It's not going to be enough, but there's some talk that guys are going to go back in and try and top off and try and stretch it out. So we may try and do that.
Now, Tyler, I want to let you know we had a little Mythbusters segment up here in the booth, and we talked to Pockets, and we verified your story that he really does not pay any attention to how much fuel is in his car.
Oh, no, he has no idea. He just does what Larry tells him to do.
Yeah, we had to, I was telling these guys that story, and so we had to pull Pockets up in here and get verification on that one. What, now I forget what, Kyle, were you going to ask our in-race reporter something?
Yeah, I figured we would share this telephone pole story. That Tyler swears he was never driving the truck, but Tyler, why don't you tell these fine folks that are watching how your Ford F-150 or F-250 was able to take out a telephone pole at a very slow speed?
Well, I mean, because it's a Ford, and it's got all that torque.
Yeah, okay.
Well, okay, so me and, it was a couple of buddies, we ended up, I think it was school bus race weekend, wasn't it? We got one of those school buses, and we was out there painting it. Yeah, we was out there painting it. We had some really crappy beer and a lot of it. And Adam, you remember my buddy Adam?
Oh,
he
yeah.
gets in the truck to move it. I forget why. I think he had to turn the headlights on so he could see or something like that. And he just starts backing up and just let it idle backwards, and I heard this, and there's a light pole laying on the ground.
Now,
there's pictures of it, too.
Yes, there are. And to explain, I will be honest, this was a very rotted wood pole. But as I come back to work the next day in the parking lot of the racetrack that we work at, here's this pole laying in the ground, and everybody's telling me, well, Tyler ran it over with his truck.
Oh, yeah. As soon as they got the opportunity to throw me under the bus, they did just that.
Me and Lee Raymond both, again, just like the day he walked through the door of the trailer looking for a job, we both looked at each other and just shook our heads.
Oh, man, I thought you guys liked me.
Well, we do, but still, there's a wonderful story of our time in racing. But Tyler, on that pit stop, what was your move? Was it 2 tires? Was it 4 tires? Of course, you needed the fuel. What did the 44 car do?
This most recent one, we took 4 because obviously we were getting pretty close to needing them. I've been taking 2 all night up until now. I've taken 4. I went in last time and topped off. We're getting ready to run in here again and top off. Just try to make it as far as we can. It's been a really good car. It's been a long time since I've been in this car, as you can probably tell. But we've been trying to get up towards the front. We just haven't had the help tonight that we've been needing. There's a lot of Chevys out there, not a whole lot of Fords. This thing's showing a lot of promising speed, and just hasn't worked out yet.
Now, Tyler, I was telling these guys that me and you combined have run about 6 Talladega races this week on a different format. How different is Talladega here tonight?
Oh, guys, look at pit road. My goodness, they're wrecking coming out of pit road.
Yeah, we should be able to make it through this wreck here. Looks like they got it straightened out. But Mark, it's way different. It's like day and night. I mean, the track is obviously the same. The bumps are pretty similar. But this car, this little bit older version of the car, feels heavy, and it feels like it's got some downforce versus what we've been doing. It feels like you've been driving on ice the whole time.
And just a quick update, it looks like Chevy Chase, we saw him backing back down pit road to his stall. Chevy came into the night 3rd in points. This could be big for Chevy Chase. Tyler, lights are out on the pace car. You guys are going to go back to Green Flag Racing. Thanks for the live in-race update. We'll let you get back up there, and maybe we'll see you on the podium.
Yeah, we're starting from way in the back now. We got about 20 laps to go, so we got some ground to make up. So I'll try and put a good show on for y'all.
All right, good luck.
Thanks.
Man, good luck, Tyler. I tell you, Mark, that incident there on pit road looks like the 096 of Chevy was coming in just as the 510 of BSR Steven was taking off out of there. And both of them ended up on their top at one point or another and on top of each other. So, as you said, Chevy was backing up. We'll see if that has a drastic effect on anybody's vehicles here as the pace car peels off.
Yeah, here we go. Texan, your race leader and points leader, starting on the inside. Spoiler on the outside. I'm doing my math here. It's going to be 21 to go. Right? No, 20 to go. 20 to go as we take the green flag.
Green flag back in the air.
So I guess the question is do you do about 5 laps and take your pit there and fuel, get full up and then go from there because everybody else is going to go. The question is who's going to be the Pied Piper, who's going to be the first one to take this field into the pits, because whoever it is has a good chance of holding on depending on when they pull that pit.
Well, go ahead.
Well, I've been talking to Blake, my driver, under these cautions, and right now he's telling me that he's like half a lap short, so.
Yeah, I believe restarting with 20 to go, I believe these guys are going to be anywhere from 1 to 2 laps short. Can you save a lap of fuel? Probably. But a caution here in these last 20 laps will ensure that everybody is good. And look at that, 3-4 wide back there in the middle of the field. As the number 10, Chris V, takes the lead on the low line.
Tell you what, a lot of shucking and moving there in that field as they come out of turn 2 into the backstretch. Still Chris V up there in the 10 car, Killa behind him. Then it is the 002 of SR5, followed by the 144 machine. Of course, that's going to be Muggu. And then it's Quack on the outside, so we'll see what happens. That top 5 group doing a great job. Both lines holding in.
Absolutely, 18 laps to go here. It's time to move, and you even see Pockets there on the low side climbing up into the top 6 or 7 here.
Oh, they were going to go 3 wide, but Goose shut the door, said, I'm going, boys. You're not going to trap me in this mid-hole. So Magoo now moving low. We'll see how that 144 does.
He's actually getting a big run down this back straightaway.
You see the 65 of Hot Rod up there in that 3rd lane. He guaranteed a win tonight. We'll see if he can pull that off. Meanwhile, your pick Brain Fade back in 17th. My pick Quack in 2nd car deep on that high line right now. And then we see Blake Warren in that 88 car. Right now he's still running back there in 19th. Plenty of time to get to the front though.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this 3 wide action going through the tri-oval. Everybody's trying to push and move. Heard a little bit of requests about not hitting in the corners from some of the front runners. We'll see how it all shakes out right now. Killa taking that midline and making it happen.
Yeah, Texan, the points leader coming into the night, seeing the trouble that Chevy Chase and Terry Scott are having. Texan could potentially come out of here with a huge points lead. As that middle lane, you know, usually they call that middle lane the sucker hole, but right now the middle lane is moving.
Yeah, and it's moving good actually. They're getting a big shove through the middle.
And a lot of the drivers that you see there, definitely ones that you see around, definitely doing a good job. You know, I think they're going to try and do what they can. If they can hold on both of them. Chris Hart there in that 6 car doing a great job. Then it is the 56. That's Joba. Not another slouch there. Pockets, though, looking on that low line. Had to just do a little suck and push there coming out of turn 2.
Yeah, some new faces up front. Chris Hart up there in the top 3 now. Pockets pushing Magoo. But I can tell you this much. When it comes to the last lap, Pockets will not be pushing anybody. Pockets will be going for the podium.
Absolutely. He'll be pushing his luck to see if it'll hold, and Killa's still in a commanding lead out there.
You know, Killa's done a good job all night of being able to drive out of his rearview mirror and pick and choose which lane is moving, which lane is not. As we see Chris Hart now pull up next to 2nd place on the low side. Texan,
that was a hell of a move Chris Hart made there coming down in front of Magoo.
Texan,
now he's door to door with Texan.
Yeah, Texan did not jump in front of Chris Hart.
They're able to get out there. Chris Hart's been the one that's gotten the closest there on that dump down move, but now he's paying for it. Texan's still holding on. Probably got a bit of a chuckle out of the 201. We'll see if Hart can make it happen now, gaining a little bit of momentum as they go down through 3 and 4.
We see the 193, Rick Johnson, coming into the picture. He's pushing Pockets. They've got Rusty behind him. A lot of guys who rode in the back all race avoided the 3 cautions that we did have. They are now up here at the front making their moves. Even though they're all 1 lap short on fuel, it doesn't look like any of these guys are saving.
Everybody's ranging from a splash to 3 laps short on fuel is what I'm hearing. There you see Hart getting out in front of the 201 at Killa. Definitely seeing what that Ford can do in the 6 machine.
Yeah, at first, you know, I saw that 6 car coming up through the field, and I had to look at timing and score, and I had no idea who the 6 car was. He usually runs the 12, but Chris Hart rocking a new number tonight.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what happened to his 12.
Texan still battling back on the high side.
I tell you guys, the thing that concerns me the most is we still have some racers in this field that were in heavy contact in some of these accidents. They've taped up, and it's only a matter of time to see if they're going to hold. I'll tell you that 002 looks a little sketchy there.
Yeah, SR5 starting to have a little bit of side warp there.
Everybody doing all right, though. Side by side there in that front row. Looks like Killa and Chris Hart doing a great job towing these field of Dale Jr. paint schemes around here.
And real quick, as we close in on 10 to go, taking a look at timing and scoring the number 8 BSR Quack, the fastest lap of the race.
Man, I'll tell you what, Pocket's really putting the old chrome horn to the backside of Magoo there. That time through the tri-oval, backed off a little bit in turns 1 and 2, but Pocket's definitely trying to get it. He's got Rick Johnson right behind him in the 193. And I tell you, that low line trying to make things happen. Look now, going to the low side, going to go underneath. Magoo slams the door shut as Chris Hart goes up and jumps in front of Killa.
You know, usually, obviously Magoo, the cartoon character, can't see anything, needs his glasses. Obviously Magoo is wearing them tonight, and he sees in his rear view mirror just fine as he continues to keep Pockets behind him. But meanwhile, Chris Hart has jumped back up to the high side in front of Texan, and they are pulling away.
Yeah, it's going to be real interesting. 10 laps to go this time by.
Somebody's going to come out of here with all 5 flavors of drunken cow jerky, as well as the bragging rights to say that they've won the one and only
Absolutely.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. 200.
Now a little bit of break in that high line is the 56 machine. That is Joba jumping to the low line, trying his luck down there, trying that dump job, see if he can make it happen as they head into the tri-oval.
He's got Spoiler and SR5 now pushing him. Spoiler was up there leading a lot of this race.
Yeah, look at this. Chris Hart and Texan up on the high side, and now they're getting passed by the 56.
Meanwhile, Chevy Chase half a lap back in 23rd. Tough break for our third place point sitter tonight. He could definitely use a caution here within the next 2 laps.
Well, if we do go to caution, it is race back at this point as we are under 10 to go. Still, that front pack doing a great job. The 6 of Hart, the 56 machine, that is going to be the driver of, that's Joba, of course. And then right behind him is Spoiler on the inside, Killa on the outside. They're all hanging on there in the front 2 rows.
Yeah, here we go. We've got the Ford of Chris Hart on the outside, the Chevy of Joba on the inside. No Dodges out front. In fact, I believe the only Dodge in the field is the one who blew up.
3 wide yet again. Quack gets shuffled back outside of Momo. And back to 2 wide we are.
Chris Hart now, the high line has the run.
Momo working that sucker hole, trying to push his way up through on that midline. Saw it working earlier and is pushing that 54 machine in there as much as he can. We'll see if it works out as he keeps moving his way up.
Larry Yeager up to the 3rd car deep on that high line. He guaranteed a win tonight. Meanwhile, Pockets falling back. He's in 10th place. Pockets actually in that sucker hole. Some 3 wide racing back there around 10th.
Yeah, they're a hollering 3 wide when they can. Look at that move to the low line by Momo and Pockets both.
Here comes SR5 trying to form a lower line, and Joba shuts the door.
Looks like OSR Spoiler stuck in the sucker hole. He's going to pull in there, but he's got a bit of a help ahead of him by the 201 of Killa and the 6 of your leader, Chris Hart.
Meanwhile, BSR Steve and BSR Tyler have lost the pack. They're 10 seconds back. They need a caution right now. We're getting very close to the point where a caution would end this race. If we don't have a caution in the next 2 laps, the next flag would end it. Joba now leading that low line, pulling out to the lead. But Chris Hart once again on that high line.
Oh, a lot of shoving and moving there. I tell you, a lot of reacting. Momo there all over the backside of the 002, and it's interesting to see these guys jumping around like they are.
Well, the problem is, as we come to it's 6 to go, the problem is there's some guys who are not in the front and want to be in the front more than anything else. And so now people are starting to force the issue with only 6 to go.
I think those guys are wanting to be more in the front, or in the front more than the guys that are in the front.
Yeah, right. So far, you know, Chris Hart has had it pretty easy. He's just kind of out there riding. I suspect Chris Hart is going to get a lot more pressure before this thing is over. Even from second place Texan, and there he goes. Texan.
There he goes, yeah.
Yeah, I knew Texan wasn't just going to ride around to a second place finish.
Nope.
Texan, your
spoiler in there on the low line. Sorry, go ahead.
Texan, your points leader, trying to get every point out of this race he can.
Spoiler giving him the push as they come through the start-finish line that time by. Everybody trying to shuck and move as they go down into turns 1 and 2. Just a few laps to go here. Corey, what do you think we're going to see as the race tears on?
Man, they're getting a lot racy. We might see a late caution and bring this thing to an end under caution. I don't want to see it. I want to see what happens, because there's guys that are about out of gas. This thing's coming down to the wire on fuel, and it's coming down to the wire on who's going to make it, who might wreck.
Yeah,
it's getting exciting.
Speaking of fuel, it's going to be four to go. Most of these cars are 2 laps shy on fuel.
56 pitting this time in, so they are starting. 49's going in. We're going to start seeing guys peeling off. So the question is, are you? Oh, there it is. Yep. Caution's out. Momo. Kill is collected. Oh, a full field there.
And Chris Hart is your winner. Pockets 3rd place podium finish. Chris Hart wins. Chris V 2nd. And I believe, yes, Pockets brings it home in 3rd on the podium. Me and Randy Claflin called it.
Rick Johnson upside down in the infield. That's going to be a tow job there. You know, you guys did call that, didn't you?
Yeah, and Larry Yeager comes home P4. Just, you know, Larry did not want to see that caution. He wanted 2 more laps.
I'll tell you, there's a lot of folks damaged. 4 flat tires on. I think Kellett was saying it just a second ago. I'm going to back it up and see what I can see, what brought that caution out.
And major points implications. Texan went from 1st to 16th. Terry Scott ended up in 6th. So Texan will, in fact, lose the points lead here in Talladega. So here we go. All Chris Hart has to do is keep it running to the checkers. I believe under caution he should be able to make it on fuel.
I tell you, Mark, reviewing this, looks like it was between Momo and Pockets there as what brought the caution out.
Looks like Rick Johnson has retired. I believe that is going to move Blake Warren into a top 10 finish.
Yep, sure is.
And Tyler going to bring it home 11th. Just misses out on the top 10.
Reviewing that, it looks like Pockets was trying to go to the inside and got down on the left the left rear quarter panel of Momo and just got him around just enough. And then Momo got collected in a really torrential wreck with the rest of the field right behind him. So
somebody's blowing up.
Sounds like that's Magoo, yeah.
Magoo blowing up on the backstretch.
The 144 is pretty torn up, though.
You can hear all of these guys clutching, trying to make sure that they make it to the finish line. I believe that's the NASCAR rule, Kyle. You have to be able to finish the race unassisted, right?
That is correct. You're not allowed to get pushed over the start-finish line. So at that point in time, you have to finish under your own power, or else you do not finish at all. You finish at your last, I should say this correctly, you finish at your last crossing under power.
So essentially, you would go to the end of the line.
Correct. You would be scored the previous lap, and if there's lap cars, you'd probably still be ahead of them, but you would be the first car on the lap down, if I recall correctly.
While talk about more points implications, I don't know what's going on, but Terry Scott just pitted.
He may have had to. He may not have had enough fuel even under caution. He may have been way low, but that is going to be some serious issues with the points there.
So Texan catching a huge break as Terry Scott has to pit under caution here. We're on lap number 75. The lights are still on, so this race is definitely over. And look at this. All of these people who pitted and or wrecked moves Chevy Chase up to 12th. He is going to gain a few points on Texan. Texan now up to 15th as people continue to pit. Tyler moves up into the top 10. And look at this, Blake Warren now staring at a 6th place finish.
And that just goes to show what attrition can do. I mean, you don't want to ever, like we talked about earlier, you want to be in front of it or you want to be behind it? Do you want it to happen in your rear view? Do you want to see what's going to take place and try to miss it?
So a lot of things still going on under caution here. Let's wait and see the final lap, and we may have somebody run out of fuel. Chris Hart doing a lot of clutching.
Yeah, we might see some guys still run out because I was talking to Blake, and he said he's still too short.
Well, especially Chris Hart. He was out there leading, and everybody knows when you're leading, you burn a lot more fuel.
Yeah, I was talking to Blake, and he said he was short.
We keep watching.
Chevy's sitting there trying to lobby everybody to pull over.
Larry Yeager may still win this race. The front three
right.
run out. Glad to see Rick Johnson in the chat lobby. He is out of the infield care center, and apparently he lives to race another day. Here we go, coming to the white flag under caution. I'm still watching things change.
Everybody's asking. Everybody's asking about what's your fuel poundage. I think Chris Hart just said he had about 3 pounds, so he should probably be able to make it around.
Look at that. You see Tyler, he's so low on fuel. He's down there on the apron trying to get the fuel to that back corner fuel pickup.
Half a lap to see what this crew's is going to do. Still, Chris Hart trying to hold on there.
And yeah, now it's showing Terry Scott 2 spots behind Texan. So Texan would actually, he would increase his points lead. Although Chevy Chase would gain a couple points.
And that was a real big break for Chevy. If you can consider any of this a break for anybody, because of how Chevy's got in that pit incident. Chevy right now trying to pull that 096 across the start-finish line with 1 pound of fuel pressure remaining.
So here we go, coming around turn 3 and 4. Is Chris Hart going to make it to the line? You see Larry Yeager pulling up next to Chris V. He's hoping these guys run out.
Momo's in there talking about pulling the Forrest Gump. I'm sorry about pulling a caution in your Dale Jr. race.
And there it is. Chris Hart takes the checker. Chris V second. Pockets rounds out the podium in third. That 38, a significant Earnhardt number. Kelly Earnhardt ran the 38 back in the day.
Yep, sure did.
Dale Jr. has always been adamant that Kelly Earnhardt actually had the most talent out of all of them. So here we go, Chris Hart going to come around. I doubt he has enough for a burnout, but we'll see. Still have some more Dale Jr. stuff coming up in the post-race interviews as well as after the post-race interviews, so please stay tuned in for some more Dale Jr. stuff. Oh, and Chris Hart blows the motor.
Uh-oh.
Well, I guess if there's a time to do it, now's that time.
Now they can't check his motor.
Yeah, now I'm starting to wonder if this wasn't rigged.
Well, he didn't back it into the wall like Jimmy Johnson did.
And that's it. We're not going to get a burnout. That Ford Fusion is toast. So let's head over to Victory Lane for some post-race interviews. Enjoy this quick clip and we'll be right back.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. saluted all the fans down the front straightaway, and they all stayed. The grandstand is still packed to join in Dale Jr.'s celebration. Matt Yoakum in Victory Lane.
Restrictor plate racing long has been Junior's playground. Every win, the 5 before today and now number 6 at Talladega, have been special. Why is this one so much fun? Because your grin told so many stories on your cool down lap.
It's just real emotional. I haven't won here in a long time. It was my daddy's birthday a couple days ago, and just real emotional, man. I've been, everything's just so good for me right now. My personal life and my race and the team I'm with. I don't know why. I don't feel like I deserve it, but I just feel overcome, with a lot of emotion. And been a long time since I won here. We run so good here, and to not win here in so many races, it bothers you. I want to thank Nationwide and my team, my guys, Greg, Kevin, all the guys from last year. I'm sure they're happy. Steve and all those guys have moved on. It's a great day for a lot of people that have been a part of this and helped us get here. We just got a really, really good group of guys that I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. Everything's going so great.
Steam coming from the car, your teammate behind you. You were trying to anticipate when he would make his move.
Yeah, I didn't know what he had up his sleeve, and maybe they got busy behind him and he couldn't form a run. But we had a real strong car. I didn't know that the motor was going to last. I had faith in it that it would, because we build fast cars and they're tough. And all them guys in the motor shop and the body shop, they earned their money today. And another thing too is it's bugging me. We weren't winning races, and now we're locked in that chase. I gotta worry about that. We can call these races so different now, so maybe there's more wins on the way.
Greg Ives gets his first win as a Sprint Cup crew chief, and Mike, the people still are standing.
All right, here we go. Victory Lane post-race interviews. We just saw Dale Jr. the last win at Talladega that he had a couple years ago. But let's talk to tonight's race winner from the Dale Earnhardt Jr. 200, Chris Hart in the number 6 Junior Ford Fusion. Chris Hart, tell us about your race win.
Wow, what a race, guys! I hope it was exciting on YouTube there. That was a blast the whole way.
Chris, go ahead, Mark.
I don't know what I was going to say. Go ahead.
Okay, Chris, at the end of that race, you were definitely making that 6 machine nice and wide. What's it like looking at all them red cars in your rear view mirror?
Man, I just on that last pit stop, I stayed out to the last second, filled up, taped up, and we were going to roll the dice and see if we could get up there. We weren't. I was hoping for no yellow, because if we would have had I was hoping for a yellow, because if we'd have had a green flag stop, I'm not as good as some of these other guys, but I don't think we would have won.
Chris, what was your pit strategy? How long were you going to pit with 2 to go?
I wasn't going to pit, Mark. I was going to run it dry.
We didn't see you up front until the last 20 laps or so. What was it like in the middle, in the back of this race?
Well, you know me, Mark. I usually don't ride out back, but I figured I would. I'm not as experienced on these open setup races as some of these other guys, so first half of that thing, we stayed towards the back, just riding around, and then at the end there, like I said, we taped up and went for it.
Is there anybody you'd like to mention while we got you up here in Victory Lane there, Chris?
Well, first of all, just thank BSR for putting on this race. That's an excellent league. They do a great job. And all the sponsors, of course, Drunken Cow Jerky, Real Tech, the Medicine Chest, and last but not least, Brian Boyle's Trucking. And thanks to Pockets and everybody else that helps me with these open setups to get going.
All right, congratulations to the one and only Dale Earnhardt Jr. 200 victory, Chris Hart. Moving on to our second place finisher tonight, the number 10, Chris V. We saw you up front most of the night. Tell us about your race.
Yeah, it seemed that every time I would take 2 steps forward, I'd take 3 steps back. And it was tough. There was some really, really good competition tonight. I was my strategy was gas at the end. I stayed out on the last caution we had. I stayed out as long as I possibly could. And I was going to be about a lap and a half short. And like Chris said, I was going to run it dry. And I was really, really hoping for a caution. Because I think without a caution, I don't think I would have made it to the end.
Now, Chris, were you planning on pitting, or were you going to run it dry as well?
Well, when we were about 4 to go, or 4 or 5, I wasn't going to pit. What I was going to try and do is I saw some other cars starting to pit, so what I was going to do is I was going to try and get myself into a place where I could lift a little bit, and then I was thinking of maybe doing it half throttle for the last lap or 2 to see if I could bring it home, but it would have been very close as to whether I would have made it or not.
Anybody you'd like to thank while we've got you up here, Chris?
Absolutely. As always, I always want to thank Bomb Squad Racing, Drunken Cow Jerky, as Pockets, an incredible leader, as well as all of the other sponsors that we have. I had a new crew chief this evening. Ian Ostrowski has come out and made some really, really good calls this evening, and it was his pit strategy that got me to the front. So, Ian, I wanted to say thank you very much for those calls, and welcome to Team Adidas. And that's about it. Thanks, guys. Appreciate the broadcast.
All right, Chris V, second place tonight in the Dale Earnhardt Jr. 200. Moving on to our rounding out the podium, third place, the man with the idea. He put it all into play tonight. He brings it home in the Kelly Earnhardt number 38. Pockets, tell us about your podium finish.
Last but least, here I am. I'm on the podium. And I tell you right now, I'm in the presence of 2 of the best super speedway racers that I've ever had the privilege of running with. Those two cats right there, Chris Hart and Chris V. I'm telling you right now, they're always up there. Great all around racers. I mean, Chris V he's dominant on the Saturday Night Team Series Battle of the Five Flavors. Always a threat. He's won many races over there. I'm just privileged to be in here with those two. And I'll tell you, they're all talking about fuel mileage. And I'm going to tell you right now, the three of us that are sitting in here, we're fixing to lose that damn race if we stayed out. I promise you. We weren't going to make it. Chris and I had talked about it, and we talked about saving fuel, and we clutched coming out of the pits there, but then we took off, and the excitement got the better of us, and we got up front and started racing, and we wasn't going to make it on fuel if that caution didn't come out. And I feel a little bad because I was involved in that last caution, but that 54 BSR Momo, I'm going to tell you right now, he made it exciting, and I wanted to be part of the excitement, and we pushed the envelope right up to the edge, and we just made a little mistake there. We discussed whose fault it was, and Momo decided that he might have, it was too close to call. I was gonna let it go to the admin review, take my chances, because I did have a podium finish there, and he kind of looked at it and said it was probably a racing deal, but he'd go ahead and claim it. But man, that was those last few laps there. I don't know what it looked like from y'all's seat, but you should have seen it from our seat, because that Momo, he come up through there and it got good. It really did. We was cutting up.
Pockets, we were watching Momo get into that sucker hole, but another guy that we saw shucking and moving tonight a lot in front of you, especially late in the race, was Magoo. He was pulling those hard dives down in front of you, trying to block you and stay in front of you on that low line. What was it like trying to get around him?
Well, I was working with Magoo there a little bit, and then when you're in a line like that, sometimes it just kind of stagnates a little bit, and you got to make something happen. If you make a move, it will affect everything else. And I call it shuffling the deck. Every once in a while, you got to make a move just to shuffle the deck, just to see what will happen. Because when you shuffle, everybody kind of moves around, and it kind of rearranges, the lines there. And that's kind of what I was trying to do. I stuck with him for a long time, but I'll tell you, I seen Momo coming up through the middle, and he was bulldogging his way up through there, and I looked over when he was in that sucker hole, and I thought, you know what, this guy's going to make it exciting. I want to be a part of the excitement. I'm going with the 54. Let's go see what happens. And unfortunately, we had that little hiccup there, man. I hated that it ended under caution, because it was getting real good, but it was super exciting. It was going to play out. It was going to be tight there with that fuel deal. I still don't know what was going to happen with that fuel deal. It was going to be tricky. Something was going to happen. If the caution didn't come out, I don't know that the three cats in this booth right now would be in this booth if that caution didn't come out.
I agree.
Now, Pockets, we did our new segment, predict where Pockets will finish. I think Kyle said you would finish 7th. Corey said you would finish 2nd. Me and Randy Claflin said you would finish on 3rd in the podium. Here you are in 3rd. Who do you want to give shout-outs to tonight?
Y'all getting pretty good at that, ain't you? Thank you, Corey Jean. Corey Jean, man, Corey, we've been racing together here over there at the Insomniacs, man, and we communicate on the radios together and have a good time and everything like that. So he probably knew you were going to tell me, so he had to probably do better than 7th, Kyle.
Hey, I just know what kind of a giving person you are.
You can't even, not even a top 5? Good Lord.
Well,
Hey, since we're on that subject, who was y'all's picks to win tonight?
Well,
unfortunately, I cursed brain fade right out the box.
Okay.
Corey chose his driver, Blake Warren, and I went with the 8 of Quack.
Hey, Blake Warren did a good job, man. That was his first big time sim racing show there, and he brought her home 6th place there, Corey Jean, in your car.
Yeah.
In your car. He did good. All right, shout-outs. Go ahead.
I was crew chief and while doing the broadcast.
Hey, I'm telling you, you're good at multitasking. You do all kinds of things. You over there running that league with the egg roll lovers. You running and racing everywhere. I know all about Big Mean Corey Jean. He's a fixture here in the NASCAR Racing 2003 Sim World, and I'm just glad to get to know him. Glad he's up here in the booth. Kyle, man, I can't thank you enough for stopping over and jumping up in the booth. You know it's going to be a first-rate show whenever you show up. Mark Dillon, man, I love you, brother. We work good together. We put on some good broadcasts and some good races. We do good things together, and I appreciate you and Pony Express Broadcast Network. As always, my brothers down in Dallas, Texas, Mark Heyman, Richard Heyman, all the fine folks at Drunken Cow Jerky. Visit drunkencowjerky.com for the finest craft-made whiskey and beer-soaked beef jerky on the planet. Corey Jean got him a little bit of that. How about it, Corey Jean?
Yeah, I liked it. Ghost was my favorite flavor.
There you go. Wasn't too hot, was it?
No.
There you go. There you go. I want to give a shout-out to RJ Rusty, all the fine folks up at the Medicine Chest, White Bear Lake, Minnesota, Polar Bear Store, Sunt Color Photo. My man Rick Craddock, I'm sure he's probably watching, gonna watch. Real Tech. My buddy Brian Voles. Where you at, Brian? Brian Voles out west somewhere, trucking, hauling it, making the cake that, and he's a big part of supporting this league, and we really love Brian Voles. Appreciate him, everything he does. And my man, BSR Scar, Tim Scarborough, WLS Graphics. I'm going to tell you, you seen what he did. Everybody got to see the artwork that man put out here. That was a pretty good amount of work, man. And I'm telling you, he does that out of the goodness of his heart and for the love of this game and the love of this league. And we can't thank him enough. Shout out to HelloSunshineHello.com. My girl Rhoda, holla. Tyler, everybody over there, man, our sponsors, everybody that we got that works together good here. That's why we can do stuff like that. We're just excited to be able to. We're very fortunate with all the good people that surround us, our league, all of our admins that do such a great job, all of our members, all of the people that we work together with. Got a new league coming into the scene. Greg Trogdon and all the fine folks. Mike Tucker, Bama. My man Bama right down there in Birmingham, right down the road from Talladega. And the old school racing. Looking forward to kicking it around with them. We're going to have some good things coming here in a couple of weeks with those guys. And Chris Hart, congratulations, brother. Good win. Chris V, good job. That's about all I got. Did I miss anything?
I think that covers it.
All right, fellas.
So there you have it.
One more. Dale Jr. Dale Jr., if you watch this, or if you don't, or anybody that knows him, thank you, brother. Good job. Way to go. You're an icon. You made Talladega special for me. You made many Sunday afternoons very special for me. I loved your dad. He was my hero. I got you by default, but I got you, and I support you, and I wish you nothing but luck. That this was the Dale Jr. 200.
There you have it, our podium finishers, our post-race interviews. Thank you to all of the viewers who tuned in tonight. Everything that needs to be said has been said, and so we're just going to leave you with one more video clip. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show.
Thanks again.
What's the question, dude?
How was the race?
Well, it was hot, but it was fast.
Yeah. Did you
just like you told me to go.
Yeah. Did you draft a lot?
Yeah, I drafted just like you told me to before the race.
Are you gonna give me some money when you get home?
I doubt it. You spent enough down here this week.
Oh, okay.
He was a giant, and I was just a kid. I was always trying to do everything he did. I can still remember every lesson he taught me. Growing up, learning how to be like my old man.
Using lessons learned from his father to go from 6th to 1st and score the victory in the Pepsi 400.
I dedicate this win to him. I mean, there ain't nobody else that I could dedicate it to.
he was a lion. We were a father's pride, but I was defiant when he made me walk the line. He knew how to lift me up, when to let me fall. Looking back, he always had a plan. My old man, my old man. Feel the callus on his hands and dusty overall. My old man. Now I finally understand. I have a lot to learn from my old man.
Wow. Now, was that your dad or is that the car owner?
That's the car owner right there.
Is that your son or is that your driver?
That's the son.